join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman and you're listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 121. Today we're going to be discussing episode 7, announcement of Andor. Joining me today, as always, is my little buddy Trent.
Hello.
Hello. What's up, dude?
Good.
Hey, but we're not alone in this endeavor today. No. We have fellow podcaster and friend of the show and first-time guest, Greg McLaughlin from the
Hello.
Card Podcast. What's going on, Greg?
Good Lord, has it been since ScarifCon that we've seen each other?
We've
both
physically seen each other.
Physically seen
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you. Thank you for having me on. It's Andor has been an amazing show, and it's been fun not only to watch it, right? It's amazing to watch about it, but it's amazing to talk about it with so many folks.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's been a blast, right?
Yeah, it's been a blast. One thing that, well, I guess we could talk about it now, but one of the things that Trent mentioned is it's a little serious.
Yeah.
He's like, where's the humor? And it's like, yeah, we're missing a little humor. We got some, we got the Carillion dog taking a leak on B2 emo,
Yeah.
but we need a little, just a smidge, a sprinkle of humor, just a sprinkle.
The old, the first, I think.
What are you thinking about?
What's the one?
Which one?
What's the first movie again? Sorry.
A New Hope or
Phantom
Menace or which one? New Hope, yeah. When Chewie, what a good one is when Chewie yells at the mouse droid. That's funny. Yeah, there's a little humor. Obviously, there's a lot of humor.
Which one's Cloud City? Is that the first?
That's Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. That I like that one because it has it's how Chewbacca just carries him around
yeah, well, it's he put his head on backwards. There's all this quippy humor in Star Wars as part of it, but I think Andor, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's some of the best Star Wars, but I think from a kid's perspective, it's a little heavy, and we need just a little a smidge of humor would go a long way,
Yeah, but I don't mind it.
It's still a good story.
Yeah, it's so good.
Well, and that kind of brings up a good point, Trent. You probably watch more Star Wars than your friends, I'm sure, and you like a lot of it. But I was kind of curious, when you're watching this, are you enjoying it, or are you just trying to follow along?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, sometimes I will sum up the conversation, okay, this is what they were I kind of do the dad thing and just say, okay, in this episode, I was with her senator friend, we'll get into it in a second, but I was okay, she's telling him that she's a rebel and he's okay with that. I try to sum up, sometimes the conversations are a little deep, for him, and I'm just okay, this is what they're talking about. Or obviously when Luthen and Mon are talking in the Iniquity shop, a couple episodes ago, I'm they're talking about something else by talking about looking at all these little stuff, all these trinkets, but they're really talking about the rebellion, and so that's sometimes we talk about, but he's following, he's got it. He's a smart dude.
Yeah.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, you got the knowledge.
I got the knowledge, yeah.
You got the dome for it, man.
Then you just we just talk about it afterwards, and it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. We're having fun.
Yeah.
I think again, going back to Disney Plus, you get a weekly show. We're just
loving life.
We're living life, bro. Not 16 years or 10 years. We got one every week.
Yes.
I talked about this last time. I don't know what I'm gonna do about next week. Next week, I think I'll be twitching. I got Tales of the Jedi and Andor on the same day.
Right.
I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, bro. I might be I can't take it. Too much.
I
Too much.
probably need to, if you do that, I probably have to call the ambulance.
Yeah, you might have to do the force defibrillator on me or something like that.
Yeah,
So.
Hey, Dad, what's the account for 911?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I know it. It's 911.
Good,
There you
good,
go.
good.
Good.
Yeah.
No password
Yeah.
needed. I don't have to reset password and all that.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing.
What's the phone number for 911? It's 911, bro. My dad's having a problem with Star Wars. It's too much. Got too much.
That's probably the doctor's gonna be like.
Yeah, doctor be like, well, he just needs more StarArs, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of a crazy time. So hey, you, before we get into the episode, you had a Halloween dance.
Yes.
What were you dressed up as?
An alien, like a blow up. It looks like I'm getting carried by an alien. It's funny.
It's funny.
And
Yeah.
the worst part is
It's hot.
it's hot. I have to take down the suit to like sit down or move around.
Yeah, this is cosplaying 101. Sometimes
I had to turn off like the fans. It's a whole thing. And the worst part is when the kids just bought the alien's head.
Oh, but you had fun.
Yeah.
And there was other aliens there.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
2 more.
Yeah.
And I missed the contest for like the costume.
Oh.
There's 2 others of like me,
Yeah.
but it's not a big deal.
Not a big deal. But yeah, so you had that last night.
Yeah. And
Greg, does your family get into Halloween?
Yeah, speaking of which, my little one here has been fashioning some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle swords. So he wants to do a little cosplay for the Halloween and kind of digging on that new Rise of TMNT series. And I think it's
I haven't seen it. What's that on?
I think it's on Nickelodeon. But it has a very, it has kind of an anime type, a little bit of type feel to it.
Gotcha.
But it goes pretty fast. It's got a really sharp sense of humor and really,
no pun
really
intended,
exciting.
right? No pun intended.
But
Katanas.
yeah, no, I think I ended up like buying another season, but there's a couple 3 seasons and a movie and things like that. I mean, they pump that stuff out pretty fast. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Awesome. All right. Well, I think it's time to get into it. Before we get into it, we have to ask you a couple questions here, Greg.
Yes.
You know, you're a guest here on a podcast, first time. So, how did you get into Star Wars?
It's going a ways back, and not to make this a 2-hour podcast. No,
We're trying to keep it under an hour here, Greg. So let's
I was probably about Trent's age, maybe a little younger. I was about 7 when A New Hope came out,
right.
And I had Christmases were just various toys until that came out, and then the following Christmas. The following Christmas is when a lot of Star Wars toys started coming home, and I think, from then it just kind of really, focused what I was into. I really liked it, and I think, for whatever reason, that science fiction movie just had, the effects were so good that it didn't look campy. If you remember, TV back then, it wasn't that great. You'd put a series on, you're like, nope, that really sucked.
Right. You can see the strings on the rockets. Yeah, we know.
Exactly. And then, for the next, few years, we had, you had Star Wars, Star Trek, Superman, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You had Tron, Black Hole, Blade Runner. Although I didn't see that.
Another big
later.
one for me was V on TV.
Yes.
I was like,
it was
what
great.
is this? That show was great. That show blew my mind on TV. I was like, this is crazy.
Battlestar Galactica, the original, was incredibly good. Of course, some of the same folks. And so, yeah, it was kind of nice really growing up. And then I think, once you got into high school and past Return of the Jedi, it was sort of like there was so many other things. Of course, high school is many other things.
Right. Car, girls, school.
Exactly. All that stuff. But yeah.
Trying to get the girls.
There we go.
That's the whole thing about
That's the whole thing about high school. It's true.
No,
Little T's got it. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, right.
It's the same with my school. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Yeah, I believe you. Yeah.
All the 5th graders are acting stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
That's how boys and girls do it. They just act stupid for a couple years.
They're so stupid.
Yeah.
But
so
you were talking about like stuff going on, all these shows and stuff. I mean, will we ever have a time again where we didn't have Star Wars outside of, like books and comics like that for years? And, now it's just sort of like, all right, what are we getting this week? As you're putting your hands. You're like, yeah, all right, what do we got? What we got going on? But
I know.
there was a time.
Yeah, from a content creator perspective, it's like you pretty much could talk about anything, or you could, it's hard not to talk about the weekly show. So that's what we're doing. We're talking about the weekly show, you know? But yeah, there's so much, dude. It's like a surplus, you know? And honestly, I mean, with all things with Disney, I mean, we wouldn't have got this with George. We might have got 3 more movies, but I don't think we would have got the amount of content that we have. So it's right in that fine line of like oversaturation and, you know, that kind of thing, and getting some new stuff. But what we're seeing from Andor, good.
Let me ask you one more thing, not to take your show.
This is our interview, Greg. What are you doing? Okay, go ask us.
You know, you're 121 episodes in, but you know, something I've been kind of curious is like even on my card podcast, you know, I'm doing, I wouldn't say recap shows, but we're doing question shows. But you know, how do you two feel about, you know, doing a lot more shows more often than just kind of, you know, picking topics here and there? You know, what do you guys think?
I mean, it like I said, it makes it easy because we're going to be talking about the weekly show. But I mean, sometimes too, like I feel like there shouldn't be pressure. Like if he doesn't want to do it, we're not going to do it. You know,
Right.
we try to keep it chill, you know, and it helps when we have another guest. When we have a guest, it makes it easier for us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. If it's just us two, we're like, dude, we talk about this all the time, you know. So
there's nothing. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. We have good conversations.
It's the same. It's different, but we talk about the same exact thing, and we don't usually have anybody on.
Yeah, I know. So, but it's nice. It's nice when we mix it up with guests. So,
that's cool.
Okay. So, tell us a little bit about Rebel Base Card. Like, where did that idea come from?
I had started collecting cards again. You know, I'd collected them as kids, and I had a nice stash of them and collected, you know, some baseball and whatnot. But as the ramp up to The Force Awakens happened in 2015, you started seeing these cards show up. And, you know, cards had been in Target and Walmarts, but these ones that kind of looked like the old-fashioned ones. Yeah. And it really drew you back in. Yeah, a couple packs, some blasters. And then you have that kind of vibe of collecting them again. And I really got into it. And, you know, after a couple years, I was like, you know what? I used to do a tech blog and, you know, almost got to the point of doing a podcast for that. But I'm like, you know, the thing that I really enjoyed doing was collecting. And so after a couple years, I kind of was like, you know what, just get an Instagram page going. And once Celebration kind of happened, I was like, you know what, I'll do them in concert and I'll get ready and I'll use Celebration as almost really, you know, I had a few episodes. Yeah. The Celebration Chicago was really kind of the first big thing. I mean, C2 was another great ramp up that year. So the podcast is kind of focused on, you know, a lot on cards, collecting. I love the community, and you guys have been part of that a lot of times, whether we've met at C2 or at Scarif Con or talking to our, you know, friend Dominic Pace and all that, where it's fun to be able to expand and talk to all the people, all folks about Star Wars, or even if it's somewhat related, because what you folks do, you know, everybody, it's like, it's great because like you and the other folks in the Red5 Network and all that, everybody's creating these great spaces. Because otherwise, we're just a lot of just folks kind of just going, you know, here, there, and we're all over the place. But, you know, like when I've been on WSTR and all that, you see, like, it's really fun because now when I go to an event or I see, like, I go online, I'm like, there's all these different folks I can talk to or I might run into. Right. And, you know, it's great.
Yeah, I think that's a blessing of social media, is that you find like, hey, other people like some of the same things I do, and it's like,
exactly,
that's pretty cool. And there starts that conversation, and then, like you said, then it's like that connection part, which is the best part. It's like, hey, I'm connecting with you, and you're a real person now, and that's awesome. Yeah. So I think that's the cool part, right?
Yes. Yeah. Since he was talking about cards, I've not been really like
he's getting to Pokemon, Greg. He's started down that path. Look at. He had a box.
Oh, this is one that, we got a Bulbasaur on this one. This is I think it's from one of the training sets. Okay. And then my little one and I, we have been building decks on the side.
Whoa, that's impressive. Most impressive indeed.
I got.
There you go.
Whoa. We got this Tyranitar, like,
That guy looks like Godzilla.
It's but Rhino. Like the most popular part for like Pokemon for me was probably kindergarten. Everybody had like Pokemon cards.
Yeah, but now you're getting into it.
Yeah, I traded like a card for like a golden card actually like a gold. It's shiny Charizard, I guess, but it's
Shiny.
Nice.
Shiny. Yeah, we like shiny cards.
Yeah, one of my friends is like, he's like, hey, the girl has like so many cards. She has like all gold cards almost, and she's like, and he's like, you traded that card, not even a GX, if you know what I'm talking.
I have no idea what you're talking
I know
about,
what you're
brother.
talking about.
Like a GX.
Greg does. Greg does though.
I like a GX. I didn't trade for a GX, but I did give her one of my good cards. My friend Mason just sorted good, bad, and I gave her one of my good cards, and she gave it to me.
Yeah, it's part of it, part of the trade, bro.
Yeah.
Right? You like trading,
That's the whole fun part. You
Yes.
find cards, and you wanted the better cards, and
That's
you just
right.
trade the bad cards.
But Trent, the nice thing about Pokemon is you got everything from the cartoon. You can do the cartoon if you want to. You can do the games. You could do like Sword and Shield and all that.
Yeah.
Just like TMNT, you can take it on many levels. And even now, with there's the online, TCG for Pokemon, and it's been around for a while. So you can kind of play it if you want to, and that's kind of great because it's kind of taught me and taught my little one. You can here's the mechanics without having to kind of memorize all the rules because it's like blah.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can just kind of play, and it figures out all the hard part for you. And then if you want to move into cards, I was at a card show yesterday for a little bit, and there was a vendor, and they had a bunch of things spread out, and you can go, if I'm going to build a little bit of the decks, and that's kind of fun, right? It's just like Star Wars.
Yeah, it's
cards.
fun, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to build the decks.
That's what it's like.
battle.
We got to build your deck if you're really into this. We gotta
Yeah,
take it to the next level.
Yeah,
He's already asking about binders and stuff. I'm like, bro, okay, all
There
right.
you go, man.
There's a really good card, the shiny Charizard. I need to put it case so it doesn't get ruined.
Oh yeah. He was asking about protectors and stuff.
Yeah,
You
and
put
yeah,
the
look at-
little, you got the little
Sleeves.
You got the little,
yeah, no.
Nice. See,
protectors and the
Greg's got it
sleeves.
all.
Yeah,
Man. He's got it
and
all.
there's a one I'm obsessed with. When the girl had it, she had it's a Pikachu dressed up as a little do you know how football they have a mascot?
Yeah, he had
He's
a
a
football
little,
mascot.
Yeah, he's a little Charizard mascot.
Whoa,
It
wow.
was cute.
Cool.
Pikachu was dressed up as Charizard, so I really wanted that.
Okay.
Do you guys play Pokemon Go?
No.
No, is it on Nintendo?
No, it's on your mobile phone.
Oh, is that the one where you collect the real life Pokemons?
You'll go out and then there's places that have it, and that is a great thing for both dad and
Oh, I
Big T
guess
and Little
we
T
might have to
there.
download that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about Pokemon Go. I remember when it first started, everybody, I'm like, why is this person walking down the street oh, he's collecting a Pokemon or something like that? Yeah, we can do that. That'd be fun.
Probably.
Okay, so the world's going digital, Greg. What is it about cards that you like so much that the physicality of the card? What's going on here?
Yeah, it's
There's still, to me, there is still a lot in collecting them, and it's been hard, especially during the pandemic, because cards were flying off shelves, and it was hard for just hey, if you guys wanted to go to make a Target run, pick up some cards, you couldn't find them. But for me, there is a tactile feel to it. There is that building it, and I think cracking packs. If you're opening up packs, there's still that that
little
joy of doing
cellophane,
it.
and you kind of rip. It's happening.
Do I get some dupes? Did I build a set? Yesterday I picked up, these are they had some full sets. This was a Rogue One Series 2 that when I was collecting in 2016, I never finished the set, and so in this case,
so you picked up a full set. Nice.
This was $5, and it was super cheap. And I brought down the Rogue One binder, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna go fill that and complete that set, and then I can use these for dupes. A lot of times for the fillers, you saw me do the packs, the swag packs and whatnot.
Yeah, the swag packs are great.
What swag packs?
Where he's making his own cards and he fills in some. Remember, we got some extra cards with him. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are cool,
The
right?
one with your dad on it and the Stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
Not a card, brother.
But the cool thing about trading cards is if you have a double, you just trade that for a better one.
Yeah, but that builds
double.
that community part.
Yeah.
That's what you like.
Yeah.
Hey, I got this, you got this, let's trade it. You know. Yeah.
lot of kids are picky about like their Pokemon cards, but I just want to
See?
build it. I don't care if they're bad. I just want a big deck.
Trust me, like we'll pull some stuff aside. We could probably help. We could probably hook you up with some to kind of get you a good discount on that.
Whoa.
Yeah, I my friend on the bus like gave me some. He doesn't really care about them anymore. So.
Well, hey man, we'll take free cards too.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Free cards are the
Awesome.
best.
So you it's more of the it's really that tactile feel for you. That's why
It is, but I do just as much damage on the digital side. Star Wars Card Trader.
I love see that's kind of my jam right now because I can't get to Target every day, and if I did I would be broke. So they give me like 15,000 credits a day. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna blow up some things, and sometimes they have special runs, and it's great to see those pictures, and some of the card designs are cool. Like they had I think recently they had like that Fracture. It was almost like a 3D kind of thing going on. I'm like, yeah, this is something you couldn't technically get in a physical, so this is kind of cool from a digital perspective when they have those kind of things.
Hey,
so
Dad,
yeah.
If Mom let you keep them buying your your set, you would probably be broke by now.
This is true. Yeah.
We're low on the money right now. It's because of.
Nope. You're not wrong. The Rebel base card is looking for a new ship for its fleet, and dealerships. The Imperials have got the dealerships clamped down, and so
exactly.
A lot of
you got your one of your ships got hit by an ion cannon, and I don't know if it's going to recover. So
we're gonna have to maybe go after Aldani to see if we can get some more credits to get
right. News at 11 on the Holonet. Greg stole this Imperial shipment thing. So
15.
All right. Well, why don't we get into episode 7? We're Chatty Cathy's here. Let's get right into episode 7. The announcement right off the bat. Let's just start here with Surreal. I think that's how you say it. Him and his mom again are having a conversation, but he gets up from his bed. The bro has 3 Stormtrooper action figures.
Yeah. Like it's clone troopers. It's
clone troopers. Yes. I was like,
I pointed that out to you.
I know. Trent right away. He's like, Dad, he's got action figures. I'm like, this is amazing. This is like Inception. It's like,
of course he's got action figures.
Yeah, he's got action figures. So it's like, again, it's a really quick shot, but hey, we're Star Wars fans. We like the quick shots and analyzing. But like he gets up from bed and he kind of stands up, and on the shelf he has 3 clone troopers. Boom, boom, boom.
And he just looked at him.
He just kind of looked at him. And then we get the mom. I love the mom. She's always riding him, and like, but then we get like a little Holonet news, which was fun.
Yeah.
That's the first time. Now we got Star Wars TV. We got Star Wars TV in TV, Greg.
That is amazing. Mind blowing.
I'm like, oh, that's a Holonet.
But isn't it nice that you're seeing like all these things that you would expect to see? Like we've already seen, like, we've seen space cereal, we've seen space socks. We're seeing like, just regular things. We're seeing like, dinner parties and whatnot. And you're seeing like, especially like when Nemec was like building, talking about building that scale of the dam, and you're like, well, it's not exactly to scale. And you're like, yes, I love this. So it's like, there's so many of these Easter eggs in here.
Yeah.
That, it's amazing. And I love between Cyril and his mom, Mama Karn.
Mama Karn is great.
Not having it. She's not having it.
She's like a Jersey mom, like, we're going to talk to your uncle. I'm going to get,
And he's like,
like, and like, he's like an adult child, and I love it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if he brought those action figures to his desk? Like all the cubes, and then how do you find yours? I got the one with the clone troopers on it.
Right. Wait, exactly. I brought, hey man, when I was in office, I brought all my stuff there.
Yeah, I think you're an adult child.
I am an adult child.
Everybody who likes Star Wars is an adult child.
Yeah, that's right.
They're responsible, but they're an adult child.
So we get another Easter egg. Now this one I don't think we talked about when we watched the show, but it's Wullf Yularen is Yularen. Is an ISB guy. I'm gonna show his picture to you there, Trent, so you can see him. See this guy right here?
Yeah.
He was in A New Hope, which is where is he here? I don't know, somewhere around here. This guy. So he's wearing in A New Hope. He's wearing a white uniform. So if you're wearing a white uniform, it means ISB. And you know what that means? We might see Krennic, because Krennic was wearing, he's technically ISB in Rogue One because he's wearing the white tunic stuff.
But he do you know what's the weird thing when in Rogue One he's like he's all computered like it's because
that's Tarkin.
That's Tarkin.
Yeah.
But Tarkin is weird. He's like,
well, yeah, because he's dead. The guy that played Tarkin was dead. That's why they had to do that.
It just looks.
I know.
It looks.
It looks a little weird, but it's still cool.
Yeah, it looks like from like. Why does it look from a video game? And it's just like the director's like, oh, I'll just take a video game character and just like put it in the movie, no problem. It looks.
It's pretty realistic. There's one shot where they have like his one hair is like sticking out. I'm like, okay, I can believe this. I can believe that, because like if you watch in A New Hope, his hair is like perfectly slicked back, but there's like a couple of springers he's got like just sticking out in a couple scenes. I'm like, this is great. But
the other thing about Yularen, if you go back to The New Hope, in a way, a lot of us saw A New Hope later on in the old, pan and scan 4-3 is like, I think Yularen's not in a couple of those scenes because we didn't get the wide vision on our TVs.
Yes,
and so you kind of forget some of those outskirts, players weren't in there.
But you're gonna know who he is because he is the announcer in Clone Wars.
Yes,
all those little like Clone War proverbs at the beginning, like this on this episode is him. He's a commander, or I don't know what his rank is in Clone Wars, but
I don't get the rankings. Like I don't know what there's orange, blue, and red. I don't get what the blue, orange, and red.
They all have different plaques or little squares that represent.
Can you look that up? I'm so confused.
Well,
let's just say there's more. If there's more of them on your uniform, you're higher up the food chain.
Yes. Yeah.
So
like Grand Admiral is like the best of the best, and then it kind of goes down. And then there's like Admiral, Lieutenant, Colonel, it's all that kind of military rankings. Yeah.
Wait, this the
not like a popcorn colonel, a colonel.
I know, but a colonel. Imagine like the colonel actually he eats like popcorn, like popcorn, that's so great. He just has the slushy and he's just watching.
He's got his snacks. Yeah, he's got his snacks. He's got his popcorn kernels and his Slurpee. Yeah. He's like, hey man, I'm a colonel, so this is what we do.
You know who else? Who else is an ISB? Agent Callus from Rebels.
Oh yeah.
Oh, same time frame, bud.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that guy. Let's see. I'm gonna pull him up so Trent realizes who that guy is. This guy he's got the killer chops. Agent Callus has got those.
He's got the mutton chops going on.
He's got those, and but he's got that little like triangle cut at the end there. They're great.
Do you know what? Like
those are great.
If the only time I don't like the chop. I like chops, but like
should I grow some chops?
No,
okay.
You just shave right there and then
just like shave it. Whoop.
Dad, do you know what?
When I shaved that one time, you cried.
Yeah, if you shave your old beard,
Jen was going through my wife Jen was going through some health issues, and we were getting prepared for her surgery, and we talked about it. Like since I dated her, I've never had any. I've always had facial hair, So then we talked about it, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it to kind of lighten the mood, and we were laughing the whole time. It was great. But when Trent and Ellie saw me, they cried. Like, that's not my dad. Who are you? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hated you for like 5 weeks.
It was like 2 weeks.
Wow.
2 weeks. I'm a Wookiee. It grew back. It's fine.
Like when I looked at you, my butt cheeks clamped. I couldn't look at you like I couldn't look at you how I would like now.
I know. So Wullf drops Emperor Palpatine. Him, he's tight with the Papa P. They say, hey man, we're gonna find out what's going on here. And really what they said, which is very interesting, and again, we kind of see this in Rebels as well. Like right at the beginning of the first episode, like the guy's selling fruit and he gets arrested on a Class 1 act or something. This is what they're basically putting in martial law, where it's like, hey, if you do anything, we get to detain you and you get to go to jail. And it's like
what?
Yeah.
If you do what? Like,
Anything that they feel like suspicious, they're like, we're going to jail. And that's basically what they're talking about in that first scene is like, hey, we're gonna do that, and what else, like whatever we want. And we get to see that in a little bit. We'll see that when we talk about Cassian here in a little bit. So we got Luthen. He's happy because the rebellion started, and here comes Mon Mothma and her cool hot rod air car coming in hot.
Why does it look like the Lamborghini?
Her air car.
Pretty slick car.
Yeah, it's like the Lamborghini of the air.
Yeah, I think Greg needs that one for his next car.
I could use one. Yeah, it'd be easy to get to work with that one.
Well, and it comes with a limo driver, so maybe that
What do you mean a limo driver?
Well, she has a driver. She doesn't even drive. The other dude drives. She just sits in the back.
She could just the cool thing about if you're not driving is you could just basically just relax.
Like what you do every time I drive. You're like
sit back there and play Marvel Snap on my iPhone while
So Mothma is when we left her, she was in the Senate and no one was listening to her because everyone got the news drop on the HoloNet that something was raided, and so she's coming to Luthen to understand if it's him, and Luthen's like, you knew what we were doing. This is happening. This happened. And so it worries Mon. She's like, okay, I guess we're in. It started, which I thought was very interesting. Then we get back to Cyril, and this totally reminded me of Office Space. Like the dude's got like a cardigan and like this weird tie. We were talking about this time. Like, dude, that is a great space tie. I'm like, hovers.
Did it hover?
I don't know. It was like a clip-on. It was like a weird kind of clip-on thing going on there.
Like, can you tie it out like a?
Did you feel depressed here, Greg? Like with Cyril? Like I'm like, oh man, sorry, bro.
Like who? The guy who had no job.
He is just hating life. I mean, he's got his mom all over his back. He lost his job and now he's taking this cube job where he was out there. But you can see that defiance. He's still having his suits tailored. He's still kind of like oh man. But,
he's got the high collar.
He's got the high collar. And then, he kind of dumps on his boss when he's talking about like, dude, I was there and, they killed 2 people. And I think the boss was like, I was going to tell you when lunch was.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you when lunch is. Like, that's the best part about the day in school for me.
It's like,
bro, take it up with HR.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh, man.
Like, I just wanted to tell you, it's Hot Pocket Day.
right. For lunch. That's right.
That's all I wanted to tell you.
So now this is kind of cool scene. I love all the sets here, bro. Like Keela, who is Luthen's assistant, is kind of like going undercover and she's going through Coruscant. And we just get a world building with like different levels of Coruscant. And she meets up with Vel, and Vel's like, went from sheep herder to the 9 of Coruscant, and Trent's like, who's that? I'm like, that's the girl that was the lead in the whole thing, and she just looked all dolled up in Coruscant, and they're like, we shouldn't even meet, and we need to take out Cassian. Like, what do you think about that?
Like the girl who was helping the
raid, and now she's got to go and take out Cassian because he's a loose end. Bro. Greg, what did you think about this, man? What did you think about this?
We'd been talking on the show about like, who was really in charge, or was it more of a partnership between her and between Luthen and, Clea and Luthen? And you're like, well, maybe Clea is calling more of the shots, or she's acting on her own. We weren't quite sure because it seemed like Luthen was wanting to recruit Cassian as more of a long term, not like a one shot. And she was more like, no, it's more like this guy's like, disposable, like, can of Coke. Once we're done with that can, boom, we're done. Trash the can. We don't want anybody to find our trash. But I was really surprised. But it's like, as we find out in the episode, Cassian's got a lot of problems, and money is more of a problem than it actually what it did for.
Yeah, it's like people in real life, they want money more than anything.
Yes.
It's like that's
but with all the little kind of schemes he's running, he's burning a lot of bridges, and he's not true to himself, which is a big thing.
He's not helping the bridge.
Yeah, I think
put
one
it
of
back
the
together.
one of the best scenes is when he literally tells the truth before they go in. It's like, look, I'm a hired gun, and that's what I'm hired to do. And that was the first time he was actually real with himself, I think. Like, you want to know the truth? Here's the truth. And sometimes, he's
in for the money too.
He is in for the money, but I think
That's what
part
he
of
said
it,
too.
I think part of it is just when you lie so much, you believe the lie, and at some point you're never happy. You're never happy. So Andor kind of comes back home to Ferrix, and we get Mama Andor, Marva, I think her name is, or Marva, I don't know, 2 A's. They got 2 A's. So Marva. Yeah. And I didn't realize this. This is the same actress that's in Harry Potter. I didn't know this.
That's right.
She's the crazy aunt for what's his name? Harry Potter's
Friend.
horrible uncle. I remember his name is. I forget. I'm not a Harry. I mean,
Your
I like
sisters.
HP, but
That
I can't.
Muggle family he's with.
Yes.
Your
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
She's
she.
a big nerd of Harry Potter.
So he, Andor's like, got money. Let's get out. And she's like, let me sleep on it. It's I'm late. I'm old and infirmed. Let me think about it. And so then, what did you think of this conversation between him and Brix, Greg?
At this point, it's interesting because, you can tell that they were a couple at one point. They were together, and it seems like he goes back and he's thinking like, nah, I got the solution for all this. We can either go or what's going on. And everybody else is like, dude, what did you do? And he's like, well, poor Tim, right? The weight of this series. Tim's not going to get an autograph table at Celebration. I don't think anybody's wanting Tim's autograph. Poor guy.
Poor guy. I'll get an autograph from Tim.
There we go.
Who's Tim? Who's Tim?
Tim's the guy that
ratted him out.
He was kind of like the new boyfriend for Brix, the girl.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's the one that called in like, we have Cassian here, and that's what started that whole mess on Ferrix,
Yeah.
And then he died.
Yeah,
He died.
that's what he deserves. He deserves that.
He narked. He narked. He just like, he's trying to do the right thing, but like, I think that's the other thing that's very interesting about the Empire. Like, yeah, you did us a favor, but we don't, at the end of the day, we don't care what you did. I mean, obviously it's like, I don't know what the corp security guys that actually kill him. It's not the Empire, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, you're caught in the minutia, and sometimes, they're favors. You did us a favor, but we're going to still take you out,
Like, It's like that girl got hit in the head hard. Like remember how?
Oh yeah, I mean they messed. Yeah, I mean she's still showing the bruise when Cassian's there. I mean she got
that. I've got I felt like I got so many concussions, but I've not.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah,
in football for I think it was like a year ago or something. I had some kid's flag. He twirled me around, and I got
hit on the head.
Yeah, I had it. I was not letting go, and I got off, and it hit my head so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a headache right now. No, not by hitting myself, but just now.
Got your bell rung.
All right.
They used to say.
So then we have the dinner party, which is great. A lot of great camera angles in this room. It almost, lots of different rooms, and we get Mon meeting Tay, I think his name is.
Yes,
Tay or something. Unfortunately, they don't give us names here in Star Wars. We have to look it up on Wikipedia. So this is Tay, and he is also a Chandrilian, which is where Mon is from, and so he's like
What's Chandrilian?
I guess he's the.
He's not a human.
Is he? What is he? Is he?
He is from the Bank of Colma, Tay Colma.
Oh,
so
he's
like
banker.
So not just that, but it's like the bank is named after at least his family. So Tay Colma and the Bank of Colma, and you're like, so he's pretty big up. Otherwise, I don't think you get into Mon Mothma's party unless you are a little high up on the food chain or you're related.
Yes. There's a couple cool aliens in here. There's one alien, and it's a quick shot. She's got a really huge blue head.
No, it's purple.
Purple. Thank you.
Purple.
I'm colorblind. So
Yeah, he's
blue,
colorblind,
purple.
so I have to help
Yeah,
him.
thank you. You help me with video games. You help me. I'm like in
Yeah.
Fortnite. I'm like, what is this legendary or is this an uncommon? I don't know.
Like gray, it's gray, green, blue, purple,
Yeah, see.
gold.
He's
I
got
just-
this
I just-
memorized, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Then after gold, it's legendary. Then
Yeah,
after
and
that,
mythic.
then
Mythic.
mythic. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Then mythic. That's
But anyways, there's this purple girl that is in, or at least her species is in The Last Jedi. So they're pulling some from Canto Bite, which I thought was kind of interesting too. I think in Last Jedi she's called the Harris or something. But yeah, she's kind of a weird looking thing, and there are a lot of cool things. But yeah, we have her daughter trying to be excused again. I don't think her daughter really likes this high life at all. What do you think, Greg?
she hates her mom kind of.
Yeah.
It's like the
Kind of hates her mom, yeah.
if
That's fair.
It's like the thing about like if you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Like I seen it.
Yeah, you're gonna
You've
hate me
seen
in a
it.
couple
You've
years?
seen it.
No, but I seen it in movies
Okay.
with you.
Greg, you have a couple of teenagers. What's is it
Is it relatable?
is it relatable?
Is it relatable? Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where after a
Right.
while, people have their own interests. They got friends and things
Yes.
like that. They got things to
Yeah.
do. They got people to
They
see.
got the girls. They got everything.
Well, she's probably like, hey man, I got to get out of this stinking party with like no food and just water for her. She's not having any fun. She wants to
not
go
having
get like some. Hey man, she wants to go
Get the
to
boys,
Space
so-
McDonald's to get her Space Pal Halloween trick or treat
Oh
thing,
yeah,
man.
you want that.
I want that.
My-
yeah.
my-
Greg, have you got your Happy Meal yet?
I have not got the Halloween one. We did the Pokemon ones about a month or so ago. They had like a little Pokemon game that was
Oh my
self-enclosed within the Happy Meal. But I'm always down for a Happy Meal, man.
Yeah, man. Well, it's got that 80s feel, so I'm like, I gotta get me a.
Yeah, my Hannah, your niece has one.
I know. It's like I'm gonna go over there and get it from her. I'm like,
Yeah,
hey.
this is what you should say, Hannah. You go like this. You can run out of the house like Naruto. But that would be so mean. Your sister would be so mad.
Yeah, no,
She
I
would
am not gonna
probably-
be that uncle that steals my niece's
Nope.
McDonald's.
No,
Yeah,
you just buy an extra
got-
one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just you get 3 Happy Meals and you'll be fine.
That's right,
That's
that's
three. That's 3 buckets.
Adults.
So
can
we
take-
have
can
an
take 3
interesting
Happy
thing
Meals.
here. We're back on
Yeah.
Ferrix with Andor, and she goes back to Mama Andor, and
Mhm.
he's like, "Let's go," and she's like, "Nope, I'm staying."
Bruh.
Surprised, very surprised.
Why would you?
Do you
wanna
think she's
stay?
right here, Greg?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, well, let's see what Greg says. What does Greg say?
It's tough because she's seen her husband, killed there, and it seems like a place that has nothing for her has everything for her. It's like that's her home, that's her place, and
Mhm.
she's seeing this as like, man, people are rising up, people are doing something. And I want to be a part of it. Even if I got my cane, I got my blaster rifle, which I did not
Yeah.
catch the first time. And it's sort of like, all right, she's gonna get in it. I don't think she's
Yeah,
gonna last
she's
very
like-
long, but
Yeah.
she's definitely
No,
gonna be a part of this fight. And
Yeah.
you go, man, I don't think I'd cross her. I don't think I'd cross
Yeah.
her even this point.
She's
She got one
fierce.
good shoot
I
in
love,
her.
yeah, and I think you
She can
get
just
that
take a couple
you could,
down stormtroopers.
yeah, you could see that she doesn't play, and you could see that Andor definitely takes some of those qualities from her. I mean, she's tenacious. I'm even at her age, she's like, no, I'm whatever this is, I'm in.
Yeah,
we got to make a stand, and
We're making it happen.
I think that's super. I'm trying to think of a big word that I can't think of, but like it's just something. She's resolute on her beliefs and saying, this is my home. Even though they already got a garrison in the hotel, they like took over their hotel. Like, hey, we're gonna put Imperials here. She's like, I'm done. I'm done. Then we go back to the ISB. We have a little cat fight between Belvin and Miro, and they're like basically fighting with words. And at the end of the day, she kind of went. We see an earlier scene where she's like, pull up the TPS report for these kind of things and find all these things. And the data guy's like, okay, I'll do it.
question, Dad.
Yes.
Would your mom do that if she was if for Star Wars would Cassian's mom like would your mom do
Would
like
my mom be the rebellion leader? I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't know. It's a good question. I think for people when you depending on your beliefs and whatever your political things are or what you believe in. I mean, if you believe in something strong enough, you will fight for it.
Yeah,
If it's your relationships, if it's your political views,
if you like something
or you like something, hey man,
yeah,
you'll fight for it.
I'm fighting for a hermit crab.
Right. He wants a hermit crab, Greg. This is
hermit crab.
a hermit crab, yeah. They're only like what, $10 or
They're
something?
like it's $25 to $3. So
Okay. Well,
it's not that bad.
I know.
It's like
Yeah, we already have a turtle. We have a turtle. Leia is great.
yes.
We have a Russian tortoise. She's a Russian tortoise.
I know.
Oh, wow.
But you want a hermit crab.
A hermit crab because I would like to have. It would be fun.
Yeah. So we have the little cat fight. Speaking about cat fights, we have a cat fight. Boom, boom, boom. And she wins. Mira wins. She's like, hey, victorious.
And she smiles at him like, yeah,
Yeah.
I won. Don't you dare.
That's right.
Like, don't you dare touch me. I got the victory. I got the victory.
Yeah.
Let me just-
But
let me just-
I forget the head guy's name. He's like, walk with me, and basically says, watch your back.
Why?
Because these Imperial guys are nasty. We saw it. I mean, we saw this again play out in Rogue One with Krennic and Tarkin. Tarkin's like, oh, this project works now, and I am taking control of it effective immediately. And you're like, and like Krennic goes off. I love Krennic too. He's like, under my accomplishments, this is kind of the same thing here where, the old guy, I don't know, he's the head ISB guy. He's like reassigning. He's like, hey, you didn't do this. Now reassign here. And then he basically reassigned stuff to Miro. He's just like flipping stuff off because
That's
he's like,
rude.
whoever's working the best. It's kind of corporate cutthroat right here.
Like,
My thing, what I like about Major, and I think it's Partagaz, is that he could very easily be one-dimensional. But here you've got he wants his reports on time, man. You got to get your homework in. You got to get it now. Like, I don't really care what you got to say. If you don't got the stuff on time, I ain't having it. I know you've got teachers like that going, man, we got to get it done. We got to get it done now. But he likes a little bit of the chaos. He likes when they're kind of like, all right, get this room lively, because otherwise it's a bunch of guys just saying yes sir, no sir. So
it's like the dumb thing, like yes sir, no sir.
Yeah, but he wants
meeting.
his stuff done on time, and he's like,
that's. I have to do like it's like for math or science, I have to bring something in. Like
okay, we'll remember to do that this weekend, right?
Yeah, I know I done it already, but I had to do my turkey,
your Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah.
Last year, so they get like a turkey, Greg, and they have to decorate it for Thanksgiving, and they display it on the hallways.
Like the sky's a turkey. The sky's a turkey.
Oh yeah, you get this because the turkey, turkey wants to live through Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like Darth Vader.
So last year we did Mandalorian.
We did Boba Fett.
We did like kind of a Boba Fett turkey.
And,
good. I was happy with it.
Yeah, let's do Darth Vader.
You want to do Darth Vader? Right.
I don't know. In grade school, we used to have your turkeys is like you just draw the hand, right? That's all we did, and then you just put another colored piece on it. Here's the wing.
This is a professional cartoon, Greg, and they cut it out, and then it's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so at the end, we get a new planet called Niamos or whatever you want to call it. I do like the subtitles. Thank you, Rogue One, for that, and thank you, Gilroy, for making that happen here in Andor. Total Miami vibes with this one, brother.
Totally Miami vibes, man.
Yes. So we get to see shore troopers.
Yeah, I feel bad for the shore troopers. So the shore troopers,
we got to see. We finally got to see some stormtroopers in Coruscant when Luthen's informant's walking down. We got to see a couple stormtroopers, but in this one, there's shore troopers everywhere, and we got little alien dudes with shirts off. I mean, this thing is great. All whatever they're doing, it's great. It's great.
I feel bad for the stormtroopers because you have to run
stormtroopers are on post. They don't run. Shore troopers, they got the bendy legs. They can run. So
yeah, but
they're an easy cosplay, and they can probably go to the bathroom too.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Yeah,
They could definitely go to the bathroom.
Yeah, if you have the hole in your butt, that is like. I'm just saying if you could.
Yeah, no.
Get this
Yeah.
kid a kit.
It's a spacesuit. It's a spacesuit. It's got to be sealed,
Yeah, that's the thing too.
All right, so Andor is with the lady, and he basically got his little stash above the shower, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna go out get some snacks or whatever he's getting.
What do you
like,
mean?
get the
Why?
greeny
Going
green
local
ones,
7-Eleven.
You want because you
Wait,
got to get the green ones.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Wait, is it his like girlfriend kind of?
No, I don't know what Cassian he's not happy. That's the thing.
Nope.
So he's just like, all right, well, local person, she's hanging out because he's still mad about bricks or something. And then he's walking down, and there's a couple people that are fleeing from the beach, and he kind of walks them by, or watches them go by, and then he kind of turns a corner, and there's a shore trooper there, and he's like, hey, you're sweating. You seem out of breath. Are you running away from everybody like everybody else? He's like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to 7-Eleven, Yeah. What did you think of the scene here?
Oh, it's amazing just how quick things can turn. And even on like places supposedly out of nowhere, it only takes one trooper to turn his life upside down. 5 minutes ago, he was with his lady friend. Yeah. Everything was good, except he was feeling, a little emo about himself. And now it's like, you're just watching people go by, and you're just like, I didn't want trouble. And boy, did he get trouble in spades.
Yes.
K-droid, right?
Yeah, with it. So potentially could be a K2, but it's definitely a KX series security droid.
Yeah, like I love that.
And the guy's like, keep him here, and he kind of chokes Cassian. He's like full blown choking, and it's like,
hang.
Oh boy. And then we get this kind of almost
like, wait, before you say anything else,
I'm not gonna say anything else. You take it, brother.
I don't like the funny thing is how they're like the guys are just like ragdolls, like drag on their knees, and like, and he just like throws them down like no problem.
And again, it's a little throwback to Rogue One. Again, have to bring it up because K2 basically does Undertaker's choke slam to Jyn right when she's trying to escape from the prison camp. And he's like,
that hurt.
You have been rescued, and like he did a choke slam. He's like, boom. And so we get to see him grab one of the K2s or the KXs grab Cassian with the choke. And then we also saw him, the other one, grab like one of the ruffian dudes. And
I imagine like the K2, like if he's awake, he just like knocks him out with the other guy's head.
Yeah, right.
Or if they're like trying to run away.
I mean, he could throw him in a DDT, little bulldog, boom.
If he's trying to still kind of run, imagine he just throws them.
These KX series droids, you don't want to mess with them. You
could give them a big hug if you wanted to.
They are not huggable droids.
That's the only thing.
Well, only K2 is. But
wait. If you're a kid, would they?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That is so true. Like, are they nice to kids? That's my question.
I don't know. Hey, if IG-11 could be nice to Baby Yoda, there's hope. So, and K2 is also one of those.
That is true.
Turns nice. Okay, so we get kind of this turkey, I don't know what you would call it, like a court thing that, like, it's not really a court system. It's just processing them. And it went from 6 months to 6 years. And Trent's like, 6 years? I was like, oh, bro. I was like, oh, wrong place, wrong time. And and you said it, Greg, like it takes one shore trooper to change his life. Can you hear? We can't hear you.
Sorry about that. Lady upstairs was doing she likes doing the vacuum. And I was
like, Mom, I'm podcasting.
I know, it's like, come on, Mom, I'm podcasting. No, there was a translation running around of the charges. Did you folks see that?
There is like something about like it's totally not what he did. I forget what they were. There was some Arboresh there.
Yeah, it was like assaulting an Imperial officer, and then there was suspicion of force sensitivity.
Yes,
like,
that was it. Yeah.
Like, what
so you know that little like credit card thing where she scanned and it said crime. It basically said crime. His name. It said his name, crime, and then it basically was like assaulting an officer, and then like potential force sensitivity, which obviously Cassian didn't have or anything like that.
He never insulted him, like.
And no, he just like, I'm just going to the store,
I'm
just
just
going to
going to
7-Eleven, man,
getting the greeny greens.
picking up some smokes and some slurps.
Picking up some smokes.
Bro, I'm gonna. If that was you right now, I would probably not.
I
like
know
you.
smoking's bad, but don't, but some people still do it. That's okay. So where do you think, are we getting a prison break for Cassian? What's happening here? Where are we going to see next episode here, Greg? What do you think?
We kind of thought this was going to be like a standalone. It wasn't going to be a part of a thing. And all of a sudden at the end, you're like, what? Wait, 6 years? He's supposed to be somewhere else pretty soon. Yeah. So at some point, and but as Kobe kind of brought up, as we're doing the show, it's like, you've got Cyril in his little cube that's almost like a prison, right? I mean, like he was out there living the life of tailored suits, and now he's living the cube life, trying to wonder when the next, when the next taco day at the office is going to be. He's not in any better shape, but it's like, he has Cassian on his mind. So it's like, are these two, are they on a path to intersect? And, they both kind of are in a prison right now that they, they're not really happy where they are.
It's so funny you say that, because Chirrut says that in Rogue One again, when they're in prison, he's like, some of the prisons that we're in are not like essentially saying,
there's more than one kind of prison.
Right. And Cassian is still stuck there many years later. So he's learning, but he's still not happy. He's not happy. Cyril's not happy. I definitely think Cyril and Miro are going to meet at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's definitely going to happen. I could see him helping with Data or something, and they connect. I definitely see that happening. But with Vel trying to find Cassian to kill him, and now Cassian's off in prison, it's very hard. I'm interested to see where this is going to kind of go for the next couple episodes. But yeah, great episode. Love Miami Vice feel on Miro or whatever. I loved all that. I just loved seeing those, like, there's like 3 little alien dudes with like no shirt off, and they're just like, no, those are like 3 grandpas just checking out the beach. I love it.
Yeah, like if that's you when you're older.
You come visit me, right?
Yeah.
You come visit me in Miami.
Yeah, if you like by the mountains, that's where.
That's where I'll be. Yeah, the mountains.
Yeah, you're probably when I come there, mom's like baking something, and you're just playing video games on the couch. That's fun.
Absolutely.
Your beard's gonna be like 3 times the size. You're like full out. What Thor with the dad bod, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The table's out.
Yeah.
And he's playing Fortnite too.
Thor. Yeah. In the one scene at was that Endgame? He's like playing Fortnite and yelling at the guys.
A kid online.
Yeah, that's gonna be me. So great episode. I again, like you kind of mentioned it. They mentioned that it's not part, like, kind of these series have been like three. They're kind of going in like these little chunks, but this one was technically supposed to be a standalone, but it really wasn't. It was a very great bridge episode. A lot happening.
Yes.
I'm super excited to see where this is going.
You would yell at a kid online?
No, I wouldn't yell at a kid online.
But you said that.
Well,
not around family. I might yell at if no one else is in the room and he's doing something stupid online. You'd be like, I'm gonna take you to school there.
That's right. Do you know how long I've been playing video games? Since I was 6 years old. Come on,
And like, remember that one time Ellie got on the.
Yeah, I do.
Like, can I just tell Ray so he understands? Like,
I totally understand.
Yeah, so Ellie got a weapon in Fortnite, and they were playing teams, and this is Fortnite, so they're playing in teams.
Yeah.
And she got injured, and so you kind of crawl and the person can heal you, but if you don't get healed, obviously you die and you drop your loot, right?
Yeah, and there's like a card
and you get like a little card that you can revive each other. But this guy was so mad at Ellie for grabbing, it was Darth Vader's lightsaber, because she beat Darth Vader and he had a lightsaber, and I knew exactly what he was doing, because he grabbed Ellie, because you can kind of fireman carry him to like a safer spot.
Yeah.
And he just waited her to die, and then he grabbed the lightsaber. And
that's not cool.
It was not cool. And I was like, I'm gonna get on. I mean, we weren't like playing on the comm, but I almost was like, I'm gonna get on the chat right now and tell him, like, Ellie is like 6 years old, okay, so or 7. She's 7.
Yeah.
Thank you. She's 7. I'm like, you just did that to a 7-year-old, like, and she beat Darth Vader fair and square, and I was just like, oh, I was about ready to rage, brother.
You
Oh,
know
you would have
what
told that guy was totally Tito Santana. Like, you got to get that belt back, brother.
An old wrestler. Yes. Oh, man. Anyways, that's been another episode of Big T Little T, episode 121. You can find us on the socials, Big T Little T Podcast, Instagram, BLILT Podcast on Twitter, and twitch.tv/Big T Little T. Greg, where can people find your podcast?
Oh my goodness! As much as I try to hide it when I keep changing the name of the reactions ones we do, it's all in the Rebel Base Card feed. So if you go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and whatnot, you just search for the Rebel Base Card, and you will find the main feed, and you will find some goodness there. Greg Cass from Ion Cannon. We had Jen Sopchakchai and Ben Brophy at Zen Kenobi. We've had a bunch of people on. Talking Andor as well. Cool. As I've got a bunch of stuff in the can, talking cards and whatnot. So just real excited. Awesome. You can find me at Rebel Base Card, Instagram, and the Twitters, all that good stuff.
The Twitters.
The Twitters.
The Twitters.
The Twitters, the Instagrams.
You
all
guys
that.
are sold.
Yes, we are. Yes. Thank you.
I've got the hairline to prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a hairline.
I know. I know. Hey, we got stickers. We want to hear from you. So comment, tweet, rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you want to rate us. Show us that rating, and we'd love to read review online. It helps the show, all that kind of stuff. You can email us questions. What do you think about surreals like Clone Trooper action figure collection?
That was cool.
What about our Miami Vice planet there? Just email us at Big T Little T Podcast at
gmail.com.
There you go. You can drop us a question, give us a rating, and we'll send you a sticker right in your face.
Or a pin. Or this is what you do. Just
take
out the sticker and just slap it right
Slap it. Slap the sticker right in your forehead. There you go. So, hey, we're part of the Red5 Network. And so Red5 Tavern, which is a tabletop kind of game, one of their players on the Dungeons & Dragons podcast needs our help. Tom is Eldron the Wood Elf. And he had a house fire on 10/18 and lost everything. So Tom, his wife, Jennifer, 13-year-old son, and 4-year-old daughter have no home, no clothes, no shoes, all that kind of stuff. And so we're gonna be doing a fundraiser next week, and it's gonna be a charity stream, and we're gonna be streaming, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna be streaming for this charity. So it's gonna be 24 hours. And so check out the YouTube and Twitch accounts of Red5 Network. And that's going to happen on October 29th next week. So come help out. We'll probably be playing some Fortnite.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, how, is it like every kill you raise money or what?
No.
Every kill you
raise money. That would be great. That would be great. But no, it's just like people will be promoting the charity while we're playing, and people can go to GoFundMe. We'll throw all the links in the show notes for this week. But yeah, check that out next week. Again, I couldn't imagine losing all my stuff. I mean, that's it's just stuff, but it's still good stuff. And it's like
you would have lost everything.
I mean, at the end of the day, as long as I have my family, it's all good. But
and like the billions of dollars you've spent into your toys.
Yes, it would be bad.
But that's cool that the Red5 Network's coming together and helping out a fellow. That's cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna do each of the podcasts are gonna kind of do a little stream. We'll be streaming a game. We'll be gaming here for our little bit. But yeah, we'll throw all that stuff out as we near next week. But just want to throw that out there. Next time, episode 8, we'll be talking Andor. This will be fun. Mm-hmm. And now remember, truly
wonderful the mind of a child is.
And may the force be with you always. Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring, the one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, it put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter rage!
I think we're clear. Hold on. Let me get my mouse. Boom. Clear.